Early last year, I took a look at this, a 7-inch Android tablet that cost $40 and was made by, of all people, Walmart. It wasn't great. I wouldn't recommend you buy this even for like masochism purposes. So when I was finished with that, I threw it on the shelf and just kind of left it. A couple months after that, found this, the 2nd generation Walmart tablet, and it was miles better than the 1st gen, which wasn't really hard to do, but it was almost decent. I never made a video on it just because it kept getting pushed back as other things came up. A couple of weeks ago, I was at my Walmart and saw this, the 3rd generation of Walmart's 7-inch Android tablet. And I figured I'm already too deep into this to not see where this goes. So I bought one and I've been using it pretty much every day for the past 2 weeks. So let's go over the experience because it's really interesting. So to start with, let's talk externally. It is a complete redesign from the 1st and 2nd gen. Gone is the textured blue back and the wannabe iPhone 7 pill camera with one camera in it and nothing else in it. It was a really stupid idea. And in its place, we have a more like a soft touch-ish plastic in 4 colors. Charcoal mauve, chartreuse, utility blue, I believe is the color name. They have moved the speaker from the back to the bottom right. If you're holding the tablet normal, it's down here. Left side of the tablet is completely barren, nothing there. Top of the tablet, very similar to what we had last time. We have a headphone jack, if you're still into that, microphone, and an SD card slot that's actually under a flap this time. So I wouldn't take that for anything water resistance related. I don't think I'd trust this near water, but you know, it looks a little cleaner. Right side, volume rocker, power button, and a microphone. And on the bottom, as I mentioned before, we have our speaker and a USB-C port. They actually introduced that in the 2nd gen, and it wasn't great. It was super loose and like was super picky with how you charged it. Like it preferred the charger that came in the box, and you had to hold anything else a certain way. This is kind of the same thing, so like if you buy this, don't lose the charger that comes with it because that's going to be your easiest way to charge this up. The camera has been upgraded over the 1st gen, but not over the 2nd gen. And it is a massive upgrade over the 1st gen. It is a 10x improvement from 0.2 to 2 megapixels. So now we're on par with the original iPhone from 2007. And on the front, not much has changed over Gen 2. And there's really only one thing different over Gen 1. You have a 1024 by 600p LCD screen. They did kind of stumble a bit with the 2nd gen. It had some serious blooming around the edges. This one doesn't have that in my experience. Still 60 hertz, and above it we have a 2 megapixel front shooter. So 2 megapixels back and front. So the specs, we already covered the screen and the cameras. The rest of the specs are as follows. They are unchanged from the 2nd gen for the most part, couple exceptions, but they are definitely changed from 1st gen. We have a 2 gigahertz quad-core ARM Cortex A53. The GPU is the Mali G52 MC2. We have an unchanged 2 gigabytes of RAM. Storage from the 2nd gen has doubled, so your base storage is 32 gigs now. Thank God. 32 is a little small for like normal average stuff, but again, you're not paying a lot for this. This is $60. You know, I'll take it. $60 phones don't even come with 32 gigs, so I'll take it. And we have 2900 milliamp hour battery. Not the biggest, not the best, but it's 60 bucks. What do you want? Now on that battery, on the box, it's advertised for 10 hours. It's double from the 2nd gen, which was 5, up from 4. 2nd gen really didn't have 5 hours. It was like 2.5, 3 maximum. This pulls its weight. I did a pretty decent long gaming session on this. It was probably like 4 hours from full to drop. I mean, it wasn't like an intense game or anything, but it pulled its weight. And then going further into the software, we have Android 11 Go, up from Android 10 Go and 9 Go from the 2nd and 1st gen respectively. It's a lot more fluid than the past 2. Even though the specs haven't changed from 2nd gen, it feels better. The spark button is gone from your nav bar, but I still can't get it to go to gesture nav. Don't know what that's about. And there's a lot less Walmart bloat this time around. There was like 2 apps total, and both of them can be uninstalled, not disabled, just straight up uninstalled. Gaming on it's pretty good. I mean, as long as you keep your expectations in check, Gaming's pretty good. It handles Flappy Bird really, really well. You can do a bit of Minecraft on here. It tends to bounce between 60 and 30 FPS pretty frequently, depending on your render distance, your detail, all the things that will really stress a lower end chipset like this. And then this is a bit of an oddball, but I've kind of gotten back into it recently. Dungeon Hunter 4 is like a really old game, like 10 years old at this point. And ironically, this tablet was the first device I've played on that ran at 60 FPS. Like even my gaming PC and my gaming laptop, maybe it's just a bad Windows port, but they like capped at 30. Maybe misremembering, but the iPad 4 that I played this on in school was 30 FPS. This is 60. So if you're still into Dungeon Hunter 4, hit me up, let me know. And this might be a cheap way to get you going on it. Watching videos, Twitch streams, that kind of stuff, fairly smooth on this one. It does jelly scroll. The display does jelly scroll, so if you hate the iPad mini because it does that, you're legally required to hate this, otherwise you're an Apple hater. It's, it's 60 bucks. I can't really complain, but it was one of the first things I noticed. I'm like, oh, hey, I've seen this before. So overall, the experience I've had with the past 2 weeks with this is really, really, really good. Now, it's not great. It's not iPad Pro or Tab S7 or S8 great, but for 60 bucks or 62, 69, nice, with sales tax where I live, that's not bad. Now, going back to what I said before, if Gen 3 can make the same upgrades that Gen 2 did over the first one, I think I can recommend Gen 3. That didn't happen, sort of. The CPU, the GPU, the RAM, the screen, that's all the same, but it's a smoother experience. The storage doubling is great. I don't feel claustrophobic on here. And the advertised battery life is like actually accurate. Because of those, I feel that while this might not be your best option, sub $100, it's a good one. If you're thinking about it, if you're curious, give it a shot. I mean, it's not gonna be the greatest, but if you don't want to spend the time looking, this is here, 60 bucks, ready to go. So I do cautiously recommend this. Like it's a comfortable recommendation in that it's good, but it's cautious in that look around a little bit. Like this should not be the top of your list. If what you want on the top of the list is not attainable or out of stock or whatever, and this is another option, take a look at this. I'm really interested to see what they do with Gen 4, because so far, first one sucked, the second one was phenomenal, but that wasn't really that hard to do. And then this one didn't really change much, but what it did change was great. So I want to see what they do with Gen 4 next year. If you want to try one, go ahead. I can comfortably say, yeah, check this one out. And good job on you, Walmart, for not making manufactured e-waste like you did the first time. Good job. I hope you guys enjoyed. If you did, be sure to leave a like, subscribe. Let me know, have you tried a Walmart tablet before? And with this one, do you plan on trying one? Let me know. I'll see you guys in the next video.